Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am to kick off the series of War Games matches reviews. Yeah, like I told you guys in my last video, like in honor of WWE finally bringing the War Games match to the main roster next Saturday at Survivor Series. In honor of that, I would be making reviews for some of the most well known War Games matches. Yeah. So here I am to kick those off. Yeah. But yeah, before I actually do begin, there was something that I forgot to mention in my last video when I said I was going to be doing these. Yeah, so for these War Games matches reviews, I'm not actually going to be talking about any of the War Games matches that have been held at the NXT events over the last few years, like ever since they brought War Games to NXT. I'm not going to talk about like any of those War Games matches. I'm just going to be sticking to like the original run of War Games from the NWA and WCW. Yeah, so I'm only going to be talking about War Games matches from its original run, not like any of these newer ones from NXT from the last few years. So yeah, so I just want to just mention that real quick. Yeah, because I forgot to mention that in my last video. All right, but anyway, okay, so yeah, so here I am to kick off these War Games matches reviews. Yeah, and to start it off, let's start it off with the very first War Games match ever, and that of course was the War Games match at the Great American Bash in Atlanta in 1987. Yeah, so in 1987, the NWA did have a few Great American Bash events, hence that year. It wasn't just like a one event. Like they actually had three different Great American Bash events in 1987. Yeah, and this was the first one they had on the 4th of July in 1987. Yeah, and this one was in Atlanta, like I said. Yeah. So this was the very first ever War Games match, and it featured the Four Horsemen, which consisted of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger, and J.J. Dillon, versus the team of Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, and the Road Warriors, which included Paul Ellering. So it was Hawk, Animal, and Paul Ellering. Yeah. So this was a 5-on-5 War Games match. So like originally, like before War Games like was eventually trimmed down to 4-on-4. Like they started off as 5-on-5. So this was the first ever War Games match, like I said. Yeah, and I was actually like lucky to even find this match. Yeah, for some reason, none of the Great American Bash 1987 events are actually on Peacock. And I'm not really sure why none of these events are on Peacock. Yeah. But luckily I was able to actually find this match online. So I was able to watch it online. So I could make this review. So I'm glad that I was at least able to find it online, so I could at least talk about this one, because this was one I really did want to talk about this one since it was the very first ever War Games match. Yeah. So yeah. So when this match first took place, I'm sure that a lot of people really didn't know really what to expect from it. Yeah, because with this being the first ever War Games match, like people really didn't know like what it really was gonna be or like how it was gonna turn out or what. So I'm sure people really just like went into it like just like very curious as to like what this match was going to do and how it really was going to turn out, because if you like think about this match like on paper, it might seem like kind of silly with the two rings and like just the huge cage and with like the periods and War Games and all this stuff. Like the match probably did sound like did sound like pretty silly to people, I'm sure, when they first heard about this match. Yeah. So so I just was like, yeah, I'm sure that back then people really were just like really curious and really just like really kind of like concerned as to how this was going to turn out. I mean, with how it must have sounded to people on paper back then, people were probably thinking like this match was just really gonna just be like a really just like silly and over the top and stuff, and they just really like were not too sure really what to expect from it. Yeah, but yeah, this match, like being the first War Games match, it actually did like give it a very great start. Like this really was a great match right here. Yeah, I mean, there are some people that really still do consider it to be the greatest War Games match of all time. Like I've seen like lists of like the best War Games matches, and yeah, and this I have seen this one be like listed as the greatest on some of them. So yeah, so there are people that do consider this to be the greatest War Games match of all time. I don't know if I really can say that just yet because yeah, there are like quite a lot of War Games matches that I really haven't seen yet. But yeah, this really was a really great match, and yeah, and I really do think that this is still really going to rank like amongst the best. I think that this is easily still going to be like in the top three. Yeah, I mean, this really was just a really great match right here. Yeah, I mean, they really did like do a good job of really like booking this match and really like having it really be like very well paced and really having it do like a really good job. Like yeah, I mean yeah, they really did could have really just making it like really just like very like great solid action throughout the whole thing. Like you're really like there was never a point in this match as like you were just watching it and you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this is just so boring and this is stupid. Like can we just get on with it? Yeah, there really weren't like any spots like that throughout the match. Like it really was just like very great for pretty much from start to finish. So yeah, so this match really was a great introduction to the War Games match. Like this really did like really introduce it in a really like a strong way. And yeah, and they really did a great job with it. Yeah, this really was just a great match. I mean, there were like I said, there was like a lot of like just really like great solid action throughout the whole thing, and it was violent. Like you saw like brutality. There was people bleeding in this match. You just like had some beatdowns in this match. So yeah, just yeah, this match really just seemed to really have it all, and really was just like something that people I think like I don't know if people really were expecting this because like I said, with the match like being like the way that it must have sounded to people on paper, it might have sounded kind of silly to a lot of people, but yeah, this really did like think like what WCW or NWA I should say because yeah, this was like in the NWA. Yeah, what NWA really did like really was intending for the match to be. And yeah, and this really did really just set the bar for the War Games match because yeah, through the next like over a decade after this, we just like had like several other brutal War Games matches. So yeah, so I really do think that this match really did like set the bar, and yeah, and it is kind of like WrestleMania, where like if it didn't succeed, like you it wouldn't have continued on. So yeah, so this match really did succeed big time. So yeah, so I just really don't know what else I can really say about it. But yeah, it is like a really great match. And like I said, while can't really say that it is the greatest because I haven't seen a lot of war. There are still a lot of War Games matches I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I really do think it is really going to be hard for a lot of the matches to really get better than this. And I do think that this is still going to at least rank in the top three War Games matches of all time. So yeah, so I would probably give this match around like I guess I would go like 4.5 stars out of 5 for this match. Like it really is a great match. Like if you haven't seen this match before, and I'm sure that if you're part of a younger generation, you probably haven't. If you haven't seen this match before, you can't really go onto Peacock since this event isn't on Peacock to watch it. But yeah, I found this match online, so try to look this match up online and watch it for yourself because yeah, it is just a real great match and a great introduction to War Games. All right. So I guess I'll just talk a little bit about the match. Yeah. So like I said in my last video, if you don't know what the concept for the War Games match is, what it is that like there are like the periods of the War Games. The first period lasts 5 minutes, and the rest lasts 2 minutes. And it starts off with one member of each team fighting for 5 minutes, and then after the first period ends, then a coin toss is held to determine which team member would send in their next team member for the one-man advantage. Yeah. Then after 2 minutes, then the other team then sends in their second guy. Then after the next 2 minutes, then the coin uh, toss winning team sends in their third guy, and then it alternates until all the participants are in the match, and then once everybody's in the match, then it's the match beyond War Games, where victory is determined by submission or surrender. Yeah, yeah. So that was the concept of War Games. Yeah. So yeah, so the first two men to start the match, it was Arn Anderson and Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, yeah, and it started off like really well, like it went like back and forth. Like Arn Anderson first like was like really starting to like beat Dusty Rhodes, but then Dusty Rhodes then fought back, and then eventually then Dusty Rhodes then just like beat Arn Anderson down. Like Dusty Rhodes ended up like busting Arn Anderson open. Yeah. Then at one point, Dusty Rhodes like actually got Arn Anderson in the figure four. Yeah. Now, so for a good chunk of the first period, it was really just Dusty Rhodes beating down Arn Anderson. Yeah. Then after the 5 minute period, then the Four Horsemen then won the coin toss. So then the next team member from the Four Horsemen to enter the match was Tully Blanchard. Then first at first when Tully Blanchard entered, like first he and Arn Anderson were like trying to double team Dusty Rhodes, but then Dusty Rhodes was able to battle back, and then Dusty Rhodes then like gained the upper hand on both Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Yeah. Then after the next period, after 2 minutes, then Road Warrior Animal was then the next one to enter for the other team. Yeah. And yeah, then when he entered, like he just went a frail, like he just like beat down Tully Blanchard, or was it Arn Anderson? Yeah, he was beating down one of them. Yeah, and yeah, he just like went crazy on them. Then the next period ended, and then the next one to enter for the Four Horsemen was Ric Flair. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised that Ric Flair did like enter the match right in the middle. I mean, since like he was the leader of the Four Horsemen, you would expect him to be like the final one to enter the match for the Four Horsemen. Yeah, but yeah, he was like a yeah, he was only the third one to enter the match for the Four Horsemen out of the five of them. Yeah, so I found that kind of odd. Then sorry. Yeah. Then basically like how it went from this point is like whenever like the Four Horsemen would get a one-man advantage, like they would like gain the upper hand on the other team, but then once the other team would even up the sides, then like they would be in control and start to beat down on the Four Horsemen. Yeah, so that was pretty much like how it went from that point on after Ric Flair entered the match. Yeah. Then after the next period, then the next one to enter the match was Nikita Koloff. Then when he went in, like he, of course, like as I said, he was just like beating everyone down. Um, yeah, he just like went crazy on everybody. Then the next one to enter was Lex Luger. Yeah, yeah. Lex Luger, like I said, after that, that was like really just when the Four Horsemen got, like pretty much like beat the other team down, like when they like got the one-man advantage. Yeah. So it was like Ric Flair and Lex Luger like double teaming people at some points in the match, like during this period. But then like Animal uh Koloff and Dusty Rhodes like would beat them down. Then Road Warrior Hawk was then the next one to enter. Then once he entered, like he pretty much entered in the same style that Animal did. Like when he came in, he was just like went wild and was just knocking everyone down in his path and just like going crazy. And of course, like when like with both Road Warriors now in the match, like they were double teaming people a lot. They were like a beating down like Tully Blanchard at one point. Then finally, the last one to enter for the Four Horsemen was it was a JJ Dillon. Yeah. Then when he came in, like he like was trying to like beat everyone down, but he like had no effect. At one point, like he was trying to like go after I think it was Hawk. But his shots had like no effect on Hawk. Then with the Four Horsemen like at a 5-4 advantage. Like when like the more guys were starting to get into the ring, it was like getting like a little bit harder to really like keep up with what was going on. But yeah, there was still like some parts that like you could like remember. Like there was like one point where Ric Flair did like get the figure four in on Dusty Rhodes. I think it was Dusty Rhodes that he got the figure four on. Yeah, but yeah, it was like getting like a little bit hard to really like keep up with what was going on. Yeah, that really did seem like to be like one of the issues with the War Games matches. That like when like you got like when more people started getting into the match, like it became like kind of harder to really like just like keep track of like everything that was going on, because like you would have some guys like fighting in one spot, you'd have other guys fighting in another spot, and yeah, so it was really would be like kind of like difficult to really like try to like just keep up with like everything that was going on. Yeah, but yeah, it was still like still great. Yeah. Then finally, the last one to enter the match was Paul Ellering, and then that's when the match beyond began. Yeah. Then yeah, then you just like saw like everybody just beating up everyone, like both teams just beating down everyone. Like the Road Warriors were like double teaming JJ Dillon, and you saw at one point like Ric Flair like using some kind of weapon on Dusty Rhodes, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. Then yeah, then also how Nikita Koloff was like really getting like a beat down as well. Yeah, but then eventually, like with the Road Warriors, just after they were just like beating down JJ Dillon, then eventually like they got JJ Dillon over to like the side of one of the rings to the corner of the cage. Yeah, then he eventually like surrendered. So yeah, so with JJ Dillon surrendering, Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes, Paul Ellering, and Nikita Koloff were the winners. Yeah, so they ended up winning this match. Yeah. So yeah, so like I said, this really was like a really great introduction to war games. Like there was like solid action from start to finish. There was never really a boring spot. I know by like based on the way I talked about it, how it really didn't seem like a lot really did happen. But yeah, like just like I said, it was like kind of difficult to really like keep up with like everything that was really going on. Like when like more people were getting involved in the match. But yeah, there was still like solid, like great action, and throughout the entire match from start to finish, there really wasn't a boring spot throughout the match. So yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, this really was just a great introduction to War Games, and yeah, I would definitely say that this is easily going to be in the top three War Games matches. Like I said, I haven't. There's still a lot of War Games matches I haven't watched yet, but even like when I do like watch them, I don't really think that there are really going to be a lot that can really surpass this one. But yeah, so yeah, yeah, so like I said, I would still think that this is still going to be in the top three War Games matches of all time. So, like I said, I give this match 4.5 stars out of 5. Yeah, yeah, and like later on that month, like at another one of the Great American Bash events, like the one in Miami, like there was a rematch between these teams in War Games as well. Though, yeah, this time instead of like a JJ Dillon being in the match, the War Machine replaced him again, and with like the other four or members of the Four Horsemen team that were in this match against the Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, Dusty Rhodes, and Nikita Koloff. Yeah, but unfortunately, that like I said, that one is not on Peacock either, and I really haven't had any luck in finding that one either. I can't find that match anywhere online, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to talk about that one, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I did want to talk about that one too. Yeah, but from what I've heard about it, like it is still a great match, but I have heard that it's not as great as like this one is. Yeah. Yeah, but it still had the same outcome with Road Warriors, Nikita Koloff, Paul Ellering, and Dusty Rhodes winning. Yeah, so it did have the same outcome. All right, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to talk about that one because I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. Yeah, but yeah, this is still, like I said, a real great match and a great introduction to War Games. Like I said, if you haven't seen this match before, find it online somewhere and give it a watch because it is just a great match, and yeah, great introduction to War Games, and it really did like set the bar for the other War Games matches that would be in the NWA and WCW for over the next decade. All right, so yeah, but yeah, I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right, so this is my review of the War Games match from the Atlanta Great American Bash 1987 event, the first ever one. All right, so I hope you guys did enjoy my review for this match. Yeah, and stay tuned because I will have like some other reviews coming of some other well-known WarGames matches all through Survivor Series next Saturday, so stay tuned. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.